Hello everyone, hope you are all doing well, all are safe on board or at home, and we'll be continuing with the MLC series, where we have presently completed two headings or the titles, you can say, 1 and 2. There are totally 5 titles, as I mentioned in my earlier video. First is eligibility of placement on board. Second one is the condition of employment. Okay. Third, we will see the accommodation and other welfare facilities which need to be present on the ship. Okay, and we'll see as the time permits. We will complete the title 4 and title 5 also. Okay, thank you so much for viewing this video, and please do share this video with your colleagues and friends whom you feel might be also informed, and the knowledge can be shared with them as well. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Take care. Be safe. Hello everyone. Let's get into the video. In this video, we will be doing the title 3. Okay, we have completed the title 1 and title 2, and as I mentioned before, MLC has 5 titles which we are required to know. Okay, 3, 4, 5 is more of port state and the flag state requirements, and we seafarers or office staff cannot do or change much, but the information what is provided is very crucial, and we should know what we are eligible for seafarers and what we are getting into for shore staff. Okay, so shore staff will know what are the certification, what are the requirements, etc. Seafarers will know what are they are eligible to be getting when they are on board. Okay, let's go into it. Accommodation, recreational facilities, food and catering. Okay, so basically when the ships are built, so they have to take care of a lot of things. So any builder or any owner, what they will think is, the ships are built for carrying cargo. Okay, so they will think of ways and means to maximize the carriage of cargo and reduction in the other facilities where they can reduce the weight. Okay, that there is a certain amount of weight the ship can carry that is fixed for a specific size, that is fixed. So when the ship is constructed for that specific size, the owner always sees how we can maximize the cargo carrying capacity, because during that voyage every ton extra will have that much extra of freight. Okay, so even though that those considerations will be there, so that's why MLC has put in some regulations. Okay, that's okay, but don't we also agree it's a commercial ship and you need to make money, but it doesn't mean that you make the seafarers stand and go in the ship, right? So that's why MLC comes into play, and it puts in certain rules and regulations. It measures the rooms, it measures the cabins, what all you should have, what kind of recreational facilities you should have. You should have a gym, you should have smoke room, you should have recreational facilities, you could have lounge, how many galleys should be there, what should be the size of the sleeping room, and what kind of dining room should be there. All those details are specifically mentioned in MLC, so that these things are minimum taken care while building the ship. Okay, so first we will talk about the accommodation and recreational facilities. The size of the rooms and other accommodation spaces, as I told, everything is fixed. You cannot have they have a minimum requirement of size of the rooms. Other accommodation spaces like galley is the kitchen. You have the eating rooms where they have the food, that is called the mess rooms. Okay, the lounges are the recreational spaces where seafarers enjoy movies and they have a TV or speaker, etc. Okay, all these spaces are all well mentioned in MLC convention, and they have a proper details of how it should be constructed. I am not going to details because those details we are not required to know, because that we are not going to build that's in the building stage of the ship where that will be taken care of. So let's not go into that deep. So we will just scrape to what is required for us. Okay, And second one, heating and ventilation. This is also again very important. You just don't make these are all going to be metal structures, right? It's not going to be cement or anything on the ship. It's all going to be metal structure. So you should have proper ventilation. You should be if it is very cold, you should have some system of heating the rooms. The cabin should be very, very well ventilated. How is the insulation given? It is not that there is somebody walking up on the bridge and somebody in the C deck or D deck is feeling the walking sound is coming there. So that should not happen. So the cabin should be well insulated. All those things are taken into consideration. Noise, vibration, and other ambient factors. Noise should be controlled. Vibration should be controlled. You should not have cabins below where so there is a walkway on top and you have a cabin below. Okay, that is also not allowed. So that if somebody is walking on top, you should not be. You might be a watchkeeper and sleeping in the daytime, and people are walking on the top, and you will not be able to sleep. So all these things are taken into consideration. Sanitary facilities. Again, sanitary facilities. You will know. Okay. Presently, most of the ships have attached toilets. Number of crew have come down, so most of the ships have attached toilets. What is the sanitary? How many toilets should be there? All these considerations are taken into consideration for building the ship. Lighting. This is all very basic things which need to be there. There should be emergency lighting. There should be normal lighting. How much light should be there? How bright it should be? All those things are there. Details of hospital accommodation, mess rooms, sleeping rooms, recreation rooms, all those things as I already mentioned. All these measurements are there which are given in the MLC convention, which needs to be followed when the ship is built. Okay. Continuing with it. Food and catering. Okay. First we saw the accommodation. Now we are seeing the food and catering. What is the requirement? Provision should be checked while receiving. Okay, these are all responsibilities of master. When provisions are, this is all very basic and normal things which everybody actually does it. All spaces, vegetable room, meat room, any portable cold storages. All these things also measured, and they are also told. These are all the requirements. Should be present based on the number of people who are going to be on board. Drinking water quality and tank. How is the drinking water quality measured? Do you have testing equipment? How is it going to make? How is the freshwater generator going to be made? All those requirements will be specified by the MLC convention. How is the tank? What is the size of the tank? Will the quantity be sufficient? Will the freshwater generator will be able to cope up with the requirement? All those things will be there. Galley and food preparations area. Again, we have discussed earlier that galley and food preparation areas also will be measured, and for a number of people there will be certain number of size of the galley and the food preparation areas. Food should be provided free of cost to crew. Okay, you cannot be charged for food on board. So this is again rule in the MLC convention. All this what I'm mentioning is not, it's not my own assumptions or something. This is all I picked up from the MLC convention. Okay, food should be served, food should be served and which should consider religious backgrounds. Okay, there can be various backgrounds where some religions cannot have certain kinds of foods. So based on the nationality of the crew, all these things should be taken into consideration while providing food on the ship. Ship's cook have to be over 18 and appropriately trained and qualified for the job. So based on this only, you have the certification. In India, we provide a COC, Certificate of Competency for Cook. Okay, in other countries, you have a MLC certification for the cook. Okay, so basically, the cook cannot be less than 18 years old and he should be properly trained as per the MLC convention. What are the requirements given in the MLC convention? Health protection, Medicare, welfare and social security protection. again, these are all this has nothing to do with the seafarers, which we can do something. These are all given to indications to the flag state authorities where they should take care of it. Okay. Outpatient treatment for sickness and injury ashore, hospitalization if necessary, facilities for dental treatment, especially in case of emergency. Okay, it is possible. You can read your CBS and the standard terms and conditions. There will be one line mentioned. It will not be for cosmetic dental treatment. You cannot have a cap or something like that. But if you want to have an extraction of a teeth, they will be able to help you out. Okay. So all these provisions you should have, which should be given by the company, which should be facilitated by the flag state and the port state. Hospital and clinic for treatment of diseases. Again, it should be there available. Seafarers can go and get treated when they are on board. All signatory states to assist seafarers irrespective of caste, religion. Okay, when the ship is there, that's called the port state. So port state becomes fully responsible to ensure the seafarers, when they are reported to be sick or injured, they should be taken to hospital immediately and they should be treated. Okay, they cannot tell you cannot have what is happening in the COVID. On the basis of COVID, there are so many countries who are refusing. We know a very prominent country where they are refusing to allow sick seafarers to come ashore for treatment. So this is very sad, but this is how it is. But this is that all the countries should assist seafarers and help them in whatever way possible to ensure they are properly and timely treated. All medical reports are confidential to be shared accordingly. Okay, if you see you have, I don't know whether you have seen the medical report. There also it is mentioned it is confidential. Okay, so but the company has the right to see. Now the privacy rules are coming very strong. So you can decide whom you want to share the medical reports. That is also coming as per the MLC. This is all mentioned in the MLC convention that medical reports are all confidential. Okay, continuing on the medical care on board ship and ashore. Onboard medical facilities. What all onboard medical facilities should be available? Medicine chest, medical equipment and medical guide to be on board, which should be checked annually. Okay, so you officers might know there is a medical chest certification which is required to ensure all the medicines are as per the required international medical guide for ships, and you should be having all the equipments also on board to treat any emergency conditions on board. There should be at least one medical officer on board who is trained as per SCW. Okay, we have a course called Medicare that is mostly done by the master and chief officer. So, and the second officer helps them doing the medical first aid course. Okay, so there is a medical officer on board who is usually a second officer, and the overall authority is always with the master who has done the Medicare course, master's Medicare course. Okay, this training as per MLC needs to be reevaluated every 5 years. Okay, presently in India, the DGCP says there is an online course, you can do that, and that will be considered as revalidation, okay, for courses done in India. So every flag state will have their own requirement, but as per MLC, the training needs to be, the medical officer training, the Medicare, should be revalidated every 5 years. Provision of radio medical advice should be available. Nowadays with the technology, we have radio medical advice, we have video medical advice. Okay, so that's the new thing in where the ships are having internet. So we can have video conversations with the doctor, and they can actually see the patient and talk to them and understand the issues. So this is very, very important when the ship is out at sea and you don't have much access to any doctor or hospital. So this becomes a boon to the seafarers on board with the radio medical advice, where the masters can be guided properly by the doctors ashore. Okay. So this is also coming from the MLC, where there should be a provision. Okay, we will continue the chapter or the title 4. We have completed the 4.1. We will do 4.2. Ship owners liability. Ship owners are responsible for all medical costs on board. Okay, again this is very obvious, but still MLC clearly specifies that ship owners cannot tell I'm not responsible for your medicals on when you are on the ship, okay, when you are in the contract period. If you sign off on medical ground, they are liable based on the case to case to pay your basic salary till you become fit or declare permanent disabled or 16 weeks. Okay, so this is again coming from MLC. What they are telling is if you are signing off, the doctor in the port says you cannot sail on board and you will have to sign off. Then it can be an illness or it can be an injury. Okay, and if you are not becoming injury is very straightforward. You are fit before going on ship, and you got injured on board. You are coming down, and it is very clear case where the company covers till you become permanently disabled or you become fit and go back on the ship or go on leave. Okay, so that is one scenario. IR, there is a 16-week where you don't have any specific end where you got down for some illness or something like that. Okay, so there is a 16-week gap where with the P&I club decides, with the company and with the local government, it is decided that 16 weeks is what they will pay. There are cases where it is continuously paid also. So it all depends case to case basis. The P&I clubs take a call. Okay, in case of illness, that becomes very challenging. So that is where when the company staff has to be very careful on taking a proper medical declaration before every seafarer signs on board. Okay, if they have any pre-existing illness and that becomes aggravated when they go on board, then that is not covered by the P&I club. Okay, so you should be very careful if you want to. If there is a case of illness on board, then if it is above the deductible is a amount where below which you cannot claim to the P&I club. Okay, so basically, for example, you are covered till $5 lakh. Okay, and you decide ki up to $50,000 I will manage myself, I will not put a claim. So that $50,000 becomes the deductible. So based on that, the premium also reduces. So that is the importance of deductible. So if you pay till 50,000 of any medical cost or anything, you absorb it, then so much premium is deducted from your annual premium. So that is why it is like that. And this if it is more than deductibles, that is you will need to claim it from the P&I club. Then P&I club will be asking a lot of questions about the illness. How was it? What is his medical fitness? How did this happen? When did this happen? Did he have any history? All those things will come up. So that time it will be very important that you keep all the records and you have a proper declaration from the seafarer that he has some history to his illness. Okay. In case of permanent disability or death, owners are liable to pay the compensation based on the CB. Okay, you have permanent disability, you have different classes, how disabled you are, your finger, toe, leg, hand, all those things are there, including death. So you have a different calculation for that as per the CBA, or it should be mentioned in the standard terms of conditions. So this is again important for show stuff where this is checked in your audits whether there is a compensation mentioned in the CBA. Your SCA refers to a CBA, or the terms and conditions of the SCA do mention this clause of death and disability. I think I have. Okay. Ship owners should have a health policy to prevent accidents. The ship should have a system of working which would prevent accidents and illness. The ship should have a system of identifying, reporting and correcting unsafe conditions. Okay, so this is the 4.3. Okay, 4.2 we had ship owners liability. Okay, so this is the 4.3. 4.3 says health and safety protection and accident prevention. It is basically OSAS, occupational health and safety. Yeah. Ship owners should have a health policy to prevent accidents. So you will surely have a health policy on board. The ship should have a system of working which would prevent accident inlet. This is basically, you can call it as a permit to work system, where there is a system where it's working and it helps to prevent accidents. The ship should have system of identifying, reporting and correcting it. This is the internal audits. You can have Q5. So there is so many things where unsafe acts are reported and corrective actions taken. So every company has different systems of reporting this small unsafe acts or near misses. So all those things, reporting system is what is mentioned here. It is also required as per the MLC convention. There should be a safety committee on board discussing safety related matters. So everybody on the ship are very aware of this. Monthly there is a safety committee. It has to happen. It is not that master is just filling up a safety committee report and sending to the office every month. So it should happen on board, and you all should be part of it. There will be a safety committee in charge, and there will be the members. There's a proper committee made on the ship. So please ensure you are part of the committee, and you contribute to the safety of safety of the ship, safety of your fellow seafarers. Hazards to be covered under safety: trips and falls, high low temperature, noise, vibration, loud handling, dangerous. Again, this what I was talking about, the identification and reporting and correcting of safe conditions. These are the conditions which actually MLC is mentioning. These should be included in the list of items which needs to be identified: trips and falls, high and low temperature, noise, vibration, load handling, dangerous cargo. Okay, these are all mostly for the ship staff. This is general knowledge for the office staff, which they should know what is happening on the ship and what is MLC talking about on board the ship, and what is the risk involved in operating a vessel safely. Access to shore-based welfare facilities. Again, this is more for the flag state, as I mentioned. Flag state to create port-based welfare facilities for the seafarers. They can have port can have nearby a seamen's club. They can allow seamen's club, or they can have other facilities near the port. Presently, the only facility what most of the ports have is a bond store, or the duty-free shop where people go and buy stuff. That's the only thing. Most of the port nowadays it becomes very difficult for seafarers even to go out. So so it is very sad that we don't have much of welfare facilities going ashore. What they can do is maybe they can arrange port passes also, and with COVID, surely it has become a distant dream. When it will start again. Seafarer should have access to his consulate in port state. Okay, this is again a very important point. There can be some issues. MLC has grievance redressal system, which we'll be talking about later. They should have access to the consulate in port state. Any issues, they should be able to reach them. For say example, there can be a case where simple example where a passport can be expired. So the consulate in that country can help renew the passport for the seafarer where the ship is in long voyage and they were not able to relieve him before the passport expired. Social security, provide seafarers with access to social security. Again, this will be by the flag state where they will have to provide this facility. It is basically PF, gratuity, etc. where the flag state should make arrangements so that these are all available to the seafarer. There can be pension schemes, there can be PF, gratuity, there can be other welfare options where the governments, the flag states can come up with. Okay, that completes our Title 4. This has been a long video, but I felt I should complete it in one go because most of the things are general knowledge. You are not required to implement anything except the safety committee meetings, etc. And for office staff, it was more of a general knowledge part. Hence, I thought I will finish it off. This has been a long video, so please do bear with me so that you can have the full Title 4 in one video. So that was the idea. I didn't want to break up I broke up the Title 2 and Title 1 because this was huge, and no, you need to understand properly. But 4 and 5 also we will complete it in one video in the next video. Yeah. Thank you so much for viewing this long video, and I'm sure you have got much information on the MLC convention. And if you liked it, do share it with your friends, colleagues, and fellow seafarers. They should also gain the knowledge what you have done. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Be safe. Follow CAP, COVID appropriate behavior. Stay safe. Bye. Thank you.